chosen in a world that doesn't understand your purpose, tested in ways that only Allah sees, and elevated beyond the comprehension of those around you. You are one of Allah's chosen ones. Every step you've taken, every challenge you've endured, and every decision you've made has been preparing you for this exact moment. Your last move, calculated, patient, and guided by faith, has convinced everyone watching that you are 100% aligned with your divine destiny. This isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving to yourself and to the heavens that your path, your power, and your perseverance are unstoppable. Today, we dive into 7 powerful lessons that reveal how your patience, integrity, and trust in Allah have made your final move undeniable, and how it will forever mark your place as one of the truly chosen. In a world that is constantly noisy, chaotic, and obsessed with validation, the true power of a chosen one lies not in speaking, but in the sacred strength of silence. For silence is the language of those whose hearts are anchored in Allah and whose intentions are pure. Every word you refrain from saying, every reaction you withhold, is a reflection of your mastery over the worldly distractions that seek to diminish your light, and it becomes a shield against the envy, lies, and manipulations of those who fail to understand the depth of your purpose. The one who walks with Allah does not need to argue to be seen, does not need to explain to be believed, and does not need to prove to be acknowledged, because the angels record every patient pause, every restrained reaction, and every moment of trust in the divine, and these silent acts resonate with a power that cannot be measured by the worldly eye. Your silence, when timed with wisdom, exposes the deceit of others, illuminates the truth of your character, and communicates more to hearts and minds than the loudest words ever could. Those who once sought to control you, manipulate your narrative, or question your decisions will eventually realize that it was not ignorance or hesitation that guided you, but a conscious choice to act with precision, patience, and divine alignment. Like the prophets before you, peace be upon them, who often responded to challenges with restraint, reflection, and unwavering faith rather than reaction, your quietude becomes a statement of unshakable certainty, a sign that you are not merely reacting to the world, but are operating on a level of understanding and power that transcends it. Your silence is your strategy, your shield, your weapon, and your declaration. It convinces the world of your certainty, reveals the sincerity of your intentions, and ensures that when you finally act, your move lands with undeniable clarity, leaving no room for doubt, hesitation, or misjudgment. And so, every moment you remain silent is not emptiness but preparation, a manifestation of divine patience, and a reflection of the immense trust you have placed in Allah. For those who are chosen, understand that the world may talk, but the one who is aligned with their Creator does not need to shout to be heard, because the heavens, the angels, and the ultimate decree of Allah already testify to their certainty, their power, and their unshakable truth. In a world that constantly seeks to imitate, manipulate, and replicate, the one who is chosen by Allah carries a light and a character that no one else can copy, no matter how much they observe, study, or attempt to mimic. Your integrity is unique because it is born from divine calibration, nurtured through trials, and refined by patience, sincerity, and unwavering faith in Allah. Every decision you make, every boundary you uphold, and every action guided by your principles reflects a depth of character that is anchored in the knowledge that your life is not merely yours, it is a sacred trust, a reflection of Allah's wisdom and a testament to the purpose He has assigned to you. While the world may attempt to replicate your style, your methods, or even your success, they cannot reproduce the alignment of your heart, the clarity of your intentions, and the spiritual discernment that governs your choices, because these are gifts that come from Allah alone, and they are imprinted uniquely upon the chosen soul. Your last move, executed with precision and faith, demonstrates this truth to everyone who witnesses it. It convinces skeptics, silences the critics, and illuminates the undeniable reality that your path, your vision, and your essence are unlike any other and cannot be manufactured, borrowed, or stolen. The prophets, peace be upon them, were never replicated in their exactness, nor were their companions. And similarly, your integrity acts as both a shield and a beacon, guiding those meant to follow and warning those who seek to deceive or undermine you. Even when surrounded by envy, opposition, or misunderstanding, your unwavering honesty, authenticity, and moral courage become your proof, your statement, and your legacy. It is not about being perfect, for perfection is only with Allah, but it is about being uncompromisingly true to what Allah has placed within you, and allowing that truth to govern your words, actions, and reactions. When others try to imitate, their attempts will crumble, their strategies will fail, and their judgments will fall short. Because what Allah has endowed within you is singular, intentional, and irreplaceable. Your integrity is not just a personal virtue, it is a divine signature, a living testimony that you are one of the chosen, and your actions, decisions, and character will always reflect that no one can replicate what Allah has uniquely and purposefully placed in your heart. There is a power that surpasses understanding, a strength that the world cannot measure, and a force that cannot be challenged. And it is born when the chosen one surrenders their plans, their fears, and their uncertainties to Allah while taking deliberate, decisive action. Trust in Allah is not passive. It is a dynamic, living energy that transforms hesitation into clarity, doubt into unwavering conviction, and limitations into opportunities for divine manifestation. Every moment you place your reliance upon Allah, knowing that He alone controls outcomes, orchestrates circumstances, and protects the unseen path before you, you multiply the power that resides within your soul, and the world begins to respond not to your effort alone, but to the certainty, alignment, and divine guidance that radiates through your actions. When you act with full reliance upon Allah, your steps are no longer uncertain. Your decisions carry weight beyond human comprehension. Your presence alone shifts dynamics, and even the forces aligned against you are redirected in ways that serve the divine plan, though you may not yet see it. The prophets, peace be upon them, from Musa to Muhammad, peace be upon him, demonstrated that trust in Allah was the true source of their unmatched power. The ability to stand firm before tyrants, to lead nations through trials, and to turn moments of despair into triumphs that reshaped history. Similarly, when you embody complete trust, your every action resonates with authority, conviction, and inevitability, and those who once doubted, questioned, or underestimated, you are compelled to acknowledge that your strength is not derived from worldly tools, strategies, or alliances, but from the unseen support, wisdom, and decree of Allah. Trust is a multiplier. It amplifies your patience, sharpens your intuition, and illuminates the path that others cannot see, allowing you to operate at a level of certainty that convinces both friends and adversaries alike that you are acting not merely from human intention, but from divine orchestration. Your last move, your decisive step, or your courageous stand becomes undeniable proof that you are protected, guided, and empowered by the one who holds all knowledge, and it transforms every challenge into an opportunity, every obstacle into a testimony, and every doubt into recognition. The chosen one who trusts Allah fully does not merely survive the trials of this world, they thrive in them, dominate without arrogance, and inspire without seeking validation, because the power that comes from complete reliance upon Allah is inexhaustible, unstoppable, and unreplicable, a force that the heavens themselves witness and the earth cannot resist. Every whisper of fear, every temptation to doubt, every voice of opposition becomes irrelevant, because trust in Allah elevates your presence, amplifies your influence, and ensures that your actions are perfectly timed, perfectly aligned, and perfectly effective. And this is why the chosen one's power is never measured by human standards, but by the infinite wisdom, support, and decree of Allah, who multiplies the strength of those who submit fully, act sincerely, and walk with complete faith. There comes a moment in the journey of the chosen one when preparation, patience, and divine refinement converge, and every action, word, and decision you have taken until that point finds its purpose in a single, decisive moment, your final action, and it is in this action that the world witnesses the unmistakable alignment between your heart, your faith, and your destiny. This alignment is not superficial, nor is it a product of planning alone. It is the manifestation of a life lived in submission to Allah, where your intentions are pure, your sincerity unwavering, and your steps guided by a force greater than any human influence. Every hesitation you overcame, every trial you endured, every injustice you witnessed, and every act of restraint you practiced has been preparing you for this exact point, where your move becomes more than just a reaction or a strategy. It becomes a declaration of divine truth, an irrefutable signal that you are operating in harmony with the will of Allah, and that nothing in this world, nor deception, nor position, and no manipulation can alter the precision of your path. When your final action unfolds, it reflects not only your intelligence or capability, but also the profound spiritual maturity that comes from enduring life's trials with patience, relying on Allah's guidance in every unseen step, and refusing to compromise your principles for fleeting gains or validation from others. It convinces those who watched with doubt, skepticism, or envy that your resolve is absolute, your purpose undeniable, and your connection to the divine unbreakable. Like the prophets, peace be upon them, whose decisive actions were never random but perfectly timed and divinely orchestrated, whether it was Musa standing before Pharaoh, Yusuf stepping into his appointed role, or Muhammad, peace be upon him, leading the believers through trials. Your final action becomes a living testament to the invisible guidance that has shaped your life, revealing to the world that your alignment is authentic, intentional, and unstoppable. Even when observers do not understand the depth of your journey, they feel the weight of your certainty, the clarity of your purpose, and the undeniable aura of someone whose heart and actions are perfectly synchronized with the divine will. This is why the last move of the chosen one is never ordinary. It carries the echoes of every prayer answered, every hardship endured, and every lesson learned, crystallizing into a moment that convinces both friends and foes that you are fully prepared, fully aware, and fully committed to the destiny Allah has written for you. Your final action is not merely an event. It is a declaration, a confirmation, and a revelation. It shows the world that the chosen one moves with authority because their authority is rooted in submission, insight, and trust in Allah. And it teaches that true alignment is recognized not by words, claims, or appearances, but by decisive, principled, and spiritually guided action that cannot be replicated, challenged, or misunderstood. In essence, your final move is the reflection of your soul's journey, the manifestation of divine wisdom in action, and the undeniable proof that when you live in alignment with Allah's guidance, your life becomes a testimony that convinces the universe itself of your certainty, your purpose, and your unstoppable presence in the world. Patience is not simply the act of waiting. It is a profound discipline, a sacred strategy, and a sign of unwavering faith that transforms every trial, delay, and challenge into a stepping stone toward ultimate recognition. And for Allah's chosen ones, this patience is not passive. It is alive, intentional, and meticulously preparing you for the exact moment when the world, and even those who doubted you, will be forced to acknowledge the divine certainty of your purpose. Every moment of restraint, every act of endurance, and every time you chose to remain steadfast when the world questioned, mocked, or dismissed you, has been a part of a divine refinement process, honing your character, sharpening your insight, and solidifying the alignment between your heart and Allah's will. It is in the waiting, in the silence, and in the refusal to act impulsively or out of anger that your power is quietly building, like a fortress being constructed brick by brick, guided by wisdom beyond your immediate perception, and protected by the decree of the one who knows all hidden realities. Those who are not patient cannot see the unseen. They measure success by speed, recognition by attention, and influence by superficial metrics. But the chosen one understands that Allah's timing is perfect, and that the moments of trial, delay, and hardship are not obstacles but divine instruments designed to prepare you for a recognition that is permanent, undeniable, and unreplicable. Every whisper of doubt from others, every attempt to undermine you, every closed door, and every setback has served a purpose: to polish your patience, to test your faith, and to ensure that when your moment comes, it will arrive with such clarity, authority, and inevitability that no one can dispute it. Just as the prophets, peace be upon them, endured years of trial, ridicule, and persecution before their true mission was fully realized and recognized, so too does the chosen one grow through the crucible of patience, knowing that recognition is never instantaneous, but when it arrives, it carries the weight of divine validation, the testimony of heaven, and the acknowledgement of both allies and adversaries alike. Patience cultivates humility and resilience, allowing you to act with wisdom rather than haste, discernment rather than emotion, and precision rather than recklessness, and it ensures that your ultimate recognition is not merely a fleeting moment of worldly acknowledgement, but a lasting affirmation that your life, decisions, and actions have been guided, protected, and elevated by Allah. In the quiet moments when it feels like nothing is happening, when doors remain closed and people fail to see your efforts, your patience is accumulating unseen rewards, spiritual growth, and divine preparation that cannot be hurried or replicated by anyone else. And this very accumulation will manifest in a way that astonishes both those who underestimated you and those who relied on your influence, revealing the truth that your strength was never in public validation, but in unwavering faith and trust in Allah's perfect timing. The chosen one who embraces patience does not merely wait, they evolve, transform, and become a living testament to the fact that recognition, when it comes through divine orchestration, is absolute, undeniable, and eternal. It convinces those who witnessed your journey, humbles those who doubted your capacity, and confirms to your own heart that every hardship endured, every delay accepted, and every test overcome was not wasted, but divinely tailored to prepare you for the ultimate acknowledgement of your purpose, mission, and alignment with Allah's plan. Patience, therefore, is not a passive virtue. It is a powerful tool of preparation, a quiet amplifier of unseen influence, and the secret force that ensures the chosen one's final moment of recognition lands with unshakable authority, undeniable clarity, and divine inevitability, showing the world and the heavens alike that the one who endures, trusts, and remains steadfast in the hands of Allah is not only protected but destined for a recognition that cannot be replicated, challenged, or denied, and that this recognition is the crown upon the patient, the reward for the faithful, and the testimony that Allah's chosen always rise at the appointed time in the fullness of their destined glory. In a world obsessed with appearances, recognition, and the fleeting applause of people, the chosen one understands that true power, influence, and legacy are not determined by the hype that surrounds them, but by the integrity, intention, and alignment of their heart. For it is the heart that is the command center of action, the origin of sincerity, and the source of every decision that carries weight in the sight of Allah. When your actions emerge from a heart that is pure, steadfast, and guided by divine wisdom, they resonate far beyond what the eyes can see or the ears can hear. They create ripples in the unseen, inspire those meant to be inspired, and expose the limitations of those who are driven only by ego, envy, or deception. The world may attempt to measure you through social validation, popularity, or recognition, but these are superficial markers that cannot capture the depth of a life devoted to truth, righteousness, and the divine plan. Every act of the chosen one, from the smallest gesture of kindness to the most decisive moment of courage, is a reflection of their inner alignment with Allah's guidance, and it carries a magnitude that cannot be imitated or replicated by those who lack the same spiritual calibration. When you act with the heart fully connected to Allah, even your silence, your pauses, and your seemingly ordinary routines are imbued with extraordinary impact, because the power behind the action is not in showmanship, but in intention, and intention that is rooted in faith multiplies the effectiveness of every deed beyond human comprehension. Those who observe superficially may fail to understand why your influence is undeniable, why your presence shifts atmospheres, or why your last move convinces skeptics that you are 100% aligned with your purpose. But the truth is that the chosen one operates on a frequency that the world cannot fully measure, and every action taken is an audible testament to the alignment between the heart and divine decree. The prophets, peace be upon them, exemplified this principle perfectly. Their actions were never motivated by public acclaim or worldly validation, yet they transformed entire nations, reshaped hearts, and established legacies that endure across centuries precisely because their actions emerged from hearts attuned to Allah sincere in intention, and unwavering in principle. Similarly, your decisions, choices, and responses are the purest mirrors of your heart. They show the world who you truly are, not who they want you to be, and they reveal the level of integrity, wisdom, and spiritual depth that defines a chosen soul. It is in this alignment that your last move gains such undeniable clarity and impact, for it is not a performance, but a revelation of the heart's truth, executed with precision, patience, and divine guidance, convincing those who doubted, envied, or underestimated you that your presence, your timing, and your purpose are orchestrated by a higher wisdom that cannot fail. Even when the world attempts to confuse, manipulate, or challenge you, those who act from the heart aligned with Allah are untouchable in influence, unshakable in certainty, and unreplicable in essence, because it is not the noise, the hype, or the worldly acknowledgement that determines the outcome. It is the unseen power behind the heart, the divine orchestration, and the sincerity of action that transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary testimonies of divine favor. The chosen one knows that words alone are powerless, appearances are temporary, and public recognition is fleeting. What endures is the resonance of action that is faithful, intentional, and heart-centered, because Allah measures not the hype, but the depth of sincerity, the purity of intention, and the alignment of the soul. Your actions, therefore, are a living proof, a declaration to the heavens and the earth alike, that you are acting not from ego, impulse, or desire for validation, but from a heart attuned to Allah, a soul disciplined in trust, and a life dedicated to fulfilling a purpose that no worldly hype can define, distort, or diminish. This is why the chosen one's influence is undeniable, why the last move convinces skeptics, and why your presence alone commands attention and respect, not because of what the world says about you, but because of what Allah sees in you, in your heart, and in the actions that flow effortlessly from that divine alignment. Every step, every decision, every gesture, and every pause is a manifestation of the truth within your soul, revealing to the world that true power, authority, and impact are never measured by hype, but by the purity, alignment, and sincerity of the heart. And it is this principle that ensures that when the chosen one acts, the results are undeniable, the influence is eternal, and the testimony of divine favor becomes unmistakable, showing that actions rooted in the heart, not in worldly hype, are the ultimate proof that one is 100% aligned with Allah's plan, and that no force in the heavens or the earth can replicate, distort, or diminish this divinely ordained authority. There comes a moment in the life of every chosen one when preparation, patience, and divine orchestration converge, and your final move becomes more than just an action. It becomes a declaration, a testimony, and a living confirmation of the destiny Allah has meticulously written for you, a destiny that no one can alter, no force can impede, and no opinion can diminish. This move is not random, reactive, or impulsive, but rather the culmination of every trial you endured, every temptation you resisted, every moment of restraint you practiced, and every act of faith and trust in Allah that has shaped your journey into a trajectory aligned perfectly with divine purpose. Your last move carries the weight of unseen preparation, the precision of divine timing, and the certainty of guidance from the one who knows all hidden realities, and it reveals to the world and to yourself that every hardship, delay, betrayal, and moment of doubt was not meaningless, but was designed to elevate you, strengthen your resolve, and polish your character so that when this moment arrived, it would shine with undeniable authority, clarity, and inevitability. Those who once underestimated you, doubted your capabilities, or attempted to manipulate your path will find themselves confronted by the undeniable reality of your alignment with Allah, for your actions will speak louder than their whispers, and the impact of your decisiveness will ripple through situations, hearts and minds in ways they could never have anticipated or controlled. Like the prophets, peace be upon them, whose decisive moments, whether it was Musa confronting Pharaoh, Yusuf stepping into leadership in Egypt, or Muhammad, peace be upon him, establishing the final message of guidance, revealed the perfection of divine timing and the inevitability of Allah's decree. Your last move functions as a visible confirmation of an invisible plan, demonstrating that destiny is not a concept of chance, but a manifestation of alignment, trust, and spiritual preparation. When you act with full awareness, sincerity, and patience, every reaction from others becomes evidence of your position in the divine scheme. Those who sought to oppose you are humbled, those who were indifferent are awakened, and those who were faithful witnesses understand that the heavens have been orchestrating every detail of your journey to this precise moment. Your last move is also a reflection of internal mastery, showing that you have conquered doubt, disciplined desire, silenced fear, and perfected patience, and that the power guiding your decisions does not come from human skill alone, but from a heart attuned to Allah, a soul disciplined in trust, and a life lived in submission to divine wisdom. Recognition, validation, and influence follow this move, not because of worldly performance, but because divine alignment always manifests in a way that is unmistakable, irrefutable, and transformative. It convinces those who doubted you, elevates those who support you, and serves as an enduring reminder that the chosen one's journey is not determined by external circumstances, but by the fidelity of their heart to Allah's command, the integrity of their intentions, and the consistency of their faith. In this act, your destiny becomes tangible, your divine assignment becomes visible, and your legacy begins to take shape in a manner that cannot be questioned, replicated, or diminished. Every element of your life leading up to this point, the hardships endured, the lessons learned, the patience cultivated, the wisdom gained, and the integrity maintained, culminates in this last move, transforming it into the ultimate confirmation that you are exactly where Allah intended you to be, doing exactly what He prepared you to do, and fulfilling exactly the purpose for which you were chosen. The chosen one knows that destiny is not merely a concept, but a living, breathing reality that unfolds with precision. And when your final action aligns perfectly with Allah's will, it becomes a signal that cannot be ignored. A signal that your journey, your preparation, and your faith have reached a peak moment of divine clarity, and that the impact of your move will echo through the lives of those around you, through circumstances that were previously unseen, and through hearts that are finally awakened to the truth of your purpose. Your last move is, therefore, not just a conclusion, it is a proclamation, a confirmation, and a crown of divine favor. A living testament that Allah's chosen never act in vain, never move without purpose, and never falter when their time arrives, and it stands as irrefutable proof that your destiny is not only fulfilled, but recognized, honored, and sealed by the one who wrote it, orchestrated it, and protected it from every force that sought to delay, distort, or denude it. In this moment, everything you endured becomes meaningful. Every delay transforms into preparation. Every opposition is revealed as a lesson, and every act of faith is validated, proving beyond doubt that the chosen one's journey is a manifestation of divine will, and that the last move, executed with trust, patience, and unwavering alignment, is the ultimate confirmation that you are exactly who Allah intended, exactly where He placed you, and exactly accomplishing the mission that no one else could fulfill. Remember, beloved brothers and sisters, being chosen by Allah is not about applause, recognition, or worldly validation. It is about alignment, trust, and unwavering faith in the divine plan. Every trial you endured, every moment of patience, every act of silence, integrity, and trust has been preparing you for this exact season, this precise moment where your presence, your decisions, and your final moves speak louder than words ever could. You have shown the world, and more importantly, you have shown yourself that you are fully aligned with your purpose, guided by Allah, and unstoppable when operating in complete submission to His wisdom. These 7 lessons are not merely teachings, they are reminders of the immense power, clarity, and destiny that reside within every chosen heart. So walk with certainty, act with courage, and trust that every step, every pause, and every decision is being orchestrated by the One who knows what no one else sees. Let your life be a living testament that the chosen ones move with divine precision, that silence is strength, patience is power, and actions born from a sincere heart are unstoppable. Share these lessons with someone who needs to hear them today. Let them remind you of the force you carry within, and remember this above all: Allah has chosen you, prepared you, and confirmed your destiny, and the world can no longer deny it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.